The first Art of the Ashes community workshop was held in Baffle Creek, where two lovely women called Jodie and Patty came to participate. Both ladies are artistic members of the community, which was a lovely bond for me to have with them. And they shared stories about coming to the region recently to chase the Baffle dream and create a home which suited their needs. So, for example, living in an environment that is surrounded by nature, it's quite isolated, that represented tranquility for both of these women. However, there was a theme expressed around not really understanding what that isolation can mean in the face of natural disaster. You know, you come to the Baffle area to seek serenity and peace, but then when there are bushfires and floods, suddenly you really crave that technology, which actually before you wanted a break from. So in the artwork, I've represented this pull and push between tranquility and technology in many symbols in the artwork. So in the sky, you can see a trail of stars, which are actually in the shape of the Baffle Creek itself. And this represents Starlink internet service. Slightly beneath that, there's sort of a mesh that rises above the mountaintops, and this expresses Skynet rural internet. Jodie expressed not actually being able to pursue some of her artist activities, for example, setting up an artist website, because the rural internet was so bad. And so in the situation of dealing with emergencies, you then have to go to a satellite provider and pay a lot more money to be able to make sure that you're connected when you need to be. Of course, the Baffle Creek is well known for its fishing, which is represented here with the logo of the fishing festival in the heart of the piece. And as we move further down the piece, the river is dappled with all of these lovely little waves, which actually is a development of Patty's own drawing in my sketchbook. So some of the participants, despite being artists, need a little bit of encouraging to sketch. But I really loved her loose, kind of rough style, especially with the trees. So I thought they were really playful, and I wanted to develop them through the piece because it was her own vision of this area. Patty shared a lot of stories with us about how she first interacted with the environment when she arrived in Baffle Creek, namely really enjoying watching the mob of kangaroos on the front of her property, and also being surprised by some of the creatures in the area, like echidnas swimming down the creek. So for Patty, one of the most important things about living in the Baffle Creek community was this sense of enjoying the arts together. So this is represented through a memory that she shared of a friend playing guitar while they enjoyed the music around the campfire. Patty also unfortunately experienced really difficult times during recent flooding events. And one particular story that stood out was the floodwater rising so much that it flooded the cabin. And of course, at night when the electricity was gone, herself and her partner and their little puppy were lying on their bed, and they could actually reach over the side and feel the floodwater as it rose in the cabin. And late that night, a friend came on the boat to rescue them, which was pretty amazing. I think this idea of community connection and support is represented through what Jodie told me, that there are many layers of community that you can access. It also means that you don't have to access it if you're enjoying the solitude of that area. But when you need to, there's an accessibility there. And this has been represented by mangrove seeds that are sort of delving into the layers of earth and mud to the right side of the drawing. I've also represented Jodie's sort of spirit as the bird of prey, the hawk, which was her favorite. And it's also represented in a lot of her own artwork pieces. This piece has been framed with a sort of a natural timber look, and also features two details at the top and the bottom. This shape, this swirling shape, actually represents the body language that Jodie was using as she spoke to me. So she is running a lot of sourdough baking workshops in the local community, and many people refer to her now as the Baffle Baker. And she self-identified as a big mama of the community. And as she was telling me this, she actually was opening up her arms and as though she was holding all of these people that she facilitates workshops for. So I'm really paying homage to her as a role model and a female support in the community, And also attributing to the fact that both of these women are artists. So Jodi actually named her property Ubuntu, which in Swahili means a generosity of spirit. And for me, that really sums up what the Baffle Creek community is all about. It's about supporting each other and holding each other when there are difficult circumstances to face.